everybody! It's a second fall on a Saturday as part of a double clothesline weekend. 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, right here at the one and only Wrestling Rants, baby! Indeed, it's retrospective this day in wrestling, normally on a Thursday, but because of stuff that happened earlier in the week with work commitments and feeling a little bit under the weather, didn't make this rant on Thursday. I was actually out of town, and here we are, backtracking, did a midweek must-see matches, and now it's retrospective, but instead of Thursday's This Day in Wrestling, we're going to take a look at today's This Day in Wrestling, August 19th, with all of the information from the past on this day in wrestling. And just want to give you all a heads up on what's on tap tomorrow on Sunday for a double clothesline weekend. We will have versus Ring of Honor versus Impact. You can see Impact in the background, actually. I have to watch that still. Then I'll be finished up with the head-to-head kind of analysis on that. Talk about that tomorrow as part of Versus. And laying the rant down. Been meaning to do one of these rants, usually saved for the weekend, but my weekends have been absolutely busy the past month or so. So have fallen back on the laying the rant down weekend rants, but we will be picking that up tomorrow because we have a lot to talk about. There's some couple records that were broken in wrestling by WWE and AEW just yesterday. Going to talk about that and a whole lot else. Probably some stuff about CM Punk and all the controversy around whatever the fuck is going on there. And as well, of course, Cash Wheeler, his arrest for a felony firearm charge. There's just a lot to talk about this week. So let's break it down with laying the rant down tomorrow as part of the double clothesline weekend here at Wrestling Rants. But we are here for Rantrospective, This Day in Wrestling, August 19th. Let's get into it right now. Let's start with the birthdays. Lillian Garcia, 1973, former WWF ring announcer. Percy Watson, whatever happened to that guy? He was born in 1981. And then another guy that's really fallen off the face of the wrestling earth, Velveteen Dream, was born in 1995. All right, let's get into everything in the history on this day. Let's go back to 1990, where we had, kind of as a follow-up to last week's retrospective, if you recall, on this day in wrestling last week, Vader, Big Van Vader, defeated Ricky Choshu for, I believe it was his second IWGP World Heavyweight Championship reign. Well, this one, kind of rolling back in 1990, Ricky Choshu actually defeated Vader. This was Vader's first IWGP World Heavyweight Championship reign. Choshu beat him on this day in 1990 in Tokyo, Japan. So a little bit of parody there in the previous retrospective. Also in 1999, Lenny Lane, you remember that name? Maybe Minnesota wrestling fans certainly will. He defeated Rey Mysterio Jr. for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship on this day. And then later on, there was all kinds of controversy with this character. If you recall, he was playing a flamboyantly gay character, and WCW standards and practices did not like that. He basically got taken off TV. There was a Phantom title change. It was just a mess with this situation that started on this day in 1999, where Luscious Lenny Lane, I think he went by, defeated Rey Mysterio Jr. for that Cruiserweight Championship in WCW. Then let's go to 2001. This is the start of many SummerSlams on this day in wrestling. SummerSlam 2001 from San Jose, California. This was the kind of the fallout from the Invasion angle of WCW. This was the first pay-per-view after Invasion, so there was a lot of WCW versus WWE matchups here. Let's just go through the main ones. Rob Van Dam defeated Jeff Hardy in a great ladder match, if I recall, for the Hardcore Championship. In an underwhelming cage match for the WWF Tag Championships, Undertaker and Kane defeated Diamond Dallas Page and Canyon. Also, Kurt Angle went over Austin by disqualification for the WWF Championship when they brought back Nick Patrick and his shenanigans for this one, where he tried to prevent Austin from losing the match and ended up being a disqualification, and that was that. And then in the main event, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson defeated Booker T for the WCW Championship. In 2002, the next year, on a Raw on this day, the 24/7 rule of the Hardcore Championship, if you recall that one, kind of like the first generation of the 24/7 Championship, essentially. This was passed around on the show between Crash Holly, Bradshaw, and Tommy Dreamer, who ended up winning on this day in 2002 the Hardcore Championship. But on the same day, that 24/7 rule was discontinued, and just the following week on Raw as well, the Hardcore title was fused with, I believe, the Intercontinental Championship or something like that, if I recall. I remember it was Van Dam against Tommy Dreamer. And that was that for the Hardcore Championship. 2012 came around and we have another SummerSlam. This one was from Los Angeles. I was actually at this show. And kind of an underwhelming SummerSlam. Maybe one of the least favorite SummerSlams in the Staples Center era. I went to most of those because I was out on vacation every year in California in the summer. So most of those SummerSlams, I think every one of them, as a matter of fact, I did check out. This one, like I said, was in 2012. Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio for the gold belt. We also had Jericho and Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. Daniel Bryan against Kane. CM Punk went over the Big Show and John Cena for the WWE Championship. And then the main event saw Triple H submit via Kimura to Brock Lesnar. 2017 we're at now with NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 from Brooklyn, and a few matches to note here, a couple also some CM Punk stuff and some Cash Wheeler updates with FTR and what that all means with that arrest that he had just the other day on a firearms charge, of all things. Yikes. All right. See you back here tomorrow as we continue a double close run weekend with 2 rants on Sunday. Right here at Sunday Rants. Spinning!